What is going on, all of my people of the planet? I am D Venom, and please allow me to raise those vibrations. I hope all is well with all of my people of the planet, and I hope that you guys are staying on the straight and narrow and not doing anything to lower and or jeopardize one's vibrations. With that being said, we have a bit of a mouthful to talk about tonight, so let's dive right into it. Alright, you guys, something really crazy just happened to me not that long ago. Now, aside from me breaking my headphones, which I was very upset about while I was at the park getting ready to do an episode for you guys, I ended up going to Walmart to get another pair. And on my way back home, I noticed this car getting ready to pull out of the driveway of an apartment complex. Anyway, I am minding my own business. I pull into the park. I find a spot so that I can record my episode. All of a sudden, this car pulls up next to me, and, you know, they're talking to me. And my windows are up, so I can't really hear what they're saying. So I roll my windows down, and I'm like, yeah. And it's not a bad looking, guy that was talking to me. He was from a different country. And, basically, I thought I was a Scorpio, and I thought that when I get sexual, I'm, bold and whatever the case may be. This motherfucker was audacious and was just like, basically, do I want to have sex? And I'm like, okay, let me play with this for a little bit in regard to just the whole scenario. So I'm like, yeah. And, I'm like, yeah. So anyway, the person gets out of their vehicle and they said they had to use the bathroom. So I get out of my vehicle and I close the door and everything, have my windows up, lock the car doors. And after they got done with the bathroom, they came over, stood next to me, we're talking, we exchanged phone numbers and, just lollygagging back and forth. So I tested him even more, and I'm just like, so you have any, basically any drugs? Not that I'm looking, because I have a blessing that I have to, partake in tomorrow, and I will tell you guys about that here shortly. But anyway, I'm like, you have any methamphetamine? And he was like, no, blah, blah, blah. Do I? No, I sure don't. And I'm like, what else do you like? And he was like, coke and a whole bunch of other different things. And I'm like, okay. And so, I didn't think that he was on any drugs, but it was just the way that he was acting. It just made me think, okay, this motherfucker is on something. So I just kept playing the role. And, anyway, we eventually got in my car for a second, and, he unbuttoned his pants and everything, took off his shirt, got comfortable. And, what he told me was 12 inches ended up being like maybe 5.5, 6 at the most. And I'm playing with it. And, don't get me wrong. I, did what I did. And, it was just weird. There was a car that I didn't realize that pulled up because I was, messing around with him. And, when I realized the car was there, I'm just like, wait a minute, hold up. And so, I discontinued the activities, and they were like, well, let me go see what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was kind of weird. It's just like, well, why would you want to get out the car to walk over there to, I guess, be nosy? And anyway, they got out of my vehicle, walked over to the car, and the car ended up like leaving. And I'm like, okay. So they came back to my car, but not right away. They, walked around for a minute. Then they came back to my car. And so I'm like, what was that all about? And they were like, basically, the car was waiting for, allegedly, the car was waiting for someone to come, which I already knew that wasn't the case. And anyway, I decided, let's go back to my apartment. And thank God we didn't. And anyway, I said that I had a roommate and my roommate was gone, so we can probably go there for a little while. But I'm still watching their behavior, and something is telling me, don't even bother to do that, because you're going to find out the truth here real soon. So anyway, long story short, we ended up leaving the park because I felt uncomfortable being here. And we ended up going across the street to this gas station / business type of ordeal. So we're over there, and I get out of my vehicle and I get in the back seat of their vehicle. We both have tinted windows, whatever. So we get in the back seat of their vehicle. They leave the car on with their with the yellow lights, and I forgot what you call those at the moment, but they with the yellow lights. And I'm like, are you going to turn those off? Because that's going to cause, some attraction and whatever, some attention or whatever else the case may be. I know it was hot, but damn. So anyway, they turned that off. And, we continued to fun for a little bit. And so they kept sniffling and shit. And I'm just like, why the fuck are they doing this constantly? And so I'm like, did you do any drugs? And they were like, yeah, they did some coke. And I'm like, how much coke did you do? And I forgot what they said because of their accent. And I'm just like, this motherfucker think I'm finna be doing whatever all motherfucking night while they high on coke and whatever else the case may be. And before we went to across the street or whatever, there was another car that pulled up, and we were in my car at this time. So then they get out of my car and goes walking over to the car that had pulled up. And I'm like, why are they constantly doing this? And so that car ended up speeding off. It was like they were scared. And I'm just like, okay, something's not right about this. And so that's when we went across the street. Now, I could have ended it at any point, but I still wanted to test the waters, because I just knew something wasn't right. And, I just wanted to know what was up. Anyway, we continued the fun across the street. Well, it wasn't fun, but we continued the activities across the street. And that's when I asked them, what drugs did they do? They told me it was coke. And I'm just like, okay, we're not going to be doing this all night type scenario, because I already know what this is all about now. This is a drug-induced sexual type of scenario. And it was a mirror, and I'm glad that I kept going as far as I did, because the universe source will test you. And this was a test of mine. One, to see if I would do methamphetamine or not. Two, to see if it was just a fucking test. That's just the bottom line. And I failed it, but I didn't. The fact that I could have just ended it right then and there when I already knew the motherfucker was on something, but I just kept diving into it, and I should have just ended it a long time ago when he first asked me if I wanted to basically have sex. But, I did it anyway. But I'm glad I did, because this whole situation, once again, was the universe and source using a human being as a mirror, a reflection of me when I was out there fucked up and high on drugs and looking for sex and shit. And I can just imagine me pulling up to motherfuckers, working them, no different than what this dude did to me. He worked me. And it was just disgusting to me. And I felt a particular way about it. And though I should have ended it a long time ago, the person, after, messing around for a little bit, and I'm just like, it's hot, whatever else, and I got shit to do. And they was receiving multiple phone calls from whomever, I don't know, didn't give a damn. And then they got out of the vehicle. Well, for one, before we got in his vehicle, he was out there pissing pretty much in broad daylight. Not broad daylight, but just in the open. And I'm like, you want to get caught up for indecent exposure because this is America, and you peeing and you don't give a fuck what cars is going by and who's going in and out of this business type scenario. Well, I didn't give a fuck either because I took my ass over there to go fuck with them. I'm accountable. I'm holding myself accountable, you guys. And so anyway, they get out the car, no shirt on. They went walking around the corner of this building, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. And I got in my vehicle and I got ready to take off. So that's when they came back around and was like, basically, where am I going? I'm not finna sit here and I'm not finna deal with you. And I'm not finna deal with this situation. You're drugged up and you are looking for someone to please you and do this for whoever knows how long. And it just reminded me of me. And yeah, for one, thank you, Jesus, that I'm practicing semen retention, though that could have went far left had I gone any further with this particular individual. I'm thankful that I'm just thankful that all of this happened, regardless of what I did, my partake in it, none of that. I'm just glad it happened because it opened my eyes up to a lot of shit, including the fact that this is not what the fuck I want in regard to having sex with random individuals and drug-induced sex and all of that type of shit. It's just not what the fuck I want in my life. So I'm glad this person noticed me. Hey, thank you for noticing me. I mean, shit, damn. And the fact that they pulled up to me and worked me or whatever. I mean, I'm a particular age and I can still get it. You know, I done told y'all some stories, so I can still get it in regard to dick. But it's just like, damn, the way that they seen me and reeled in on me and worked me. Shit, it should have scared me. That's what it should have did, because I should have been like, what the fuck you trying to give me type scenario. And, you know, but I didn't. I just went along with it, and come to find out the person was drug induced on coke. I'm pretty sure coke was not the only thing that they were drug induced on. I'm pretty sure that they were drug induced on a lot of other shit. But all in all, I ended it, and here I am with you guys. So the person ended up coming back to the park because I seen that they had texted me, and I replied to it, which I shouldn't have, but I replied to it. And before I knew it, they ended up coming back to the park, and they parked next to me. And at this point, I had started creating an episode for you guys, and I'm like, I'm busy, you know, I'm working, whatever else the case may be, I don't have time. So they were like, okay, blah, 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 you know, I'll basically get up with me some other time. But prior to that, when they first met me, we were talking, and I asked them what were they doing at that apartment complex, and they said they were dropping off a friend or whatever the case may be. And I guess something went south with them, and that left them back on the prowl. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I am not doing methamphetamine. August 24, 2024 was the last, and I'm speculating this. It could have been earlier than August 24th, 2024, or it could have been a little later. But it was somewhere around that time I stopped doing methamphetamine. I just said August. August. I just said August 24th. Because that was, like I said, around the time that I did stop using methamphetamine. So that's my date right there, August 24th. I'm just glad that I haven't touched it and don't want to, especially after seeing this tonight. It's just like, oh my God. Now, if I was on methamphetamine, I would have been slobbing me knob all night, probably would have brought him back to my place and some of every motherfucking thing else. And I'm just glad it did not go there. man, I don't know why I shared that with y'all, but I just felt the need to do that, because it's not about what I did. It's not about what that person did. It's about what the universe and what source did in order for me to see my own self in this particular situation. And trust me, I see myself. So this is why I am sharing it with the world. I'm not embarrassed about this at all. Things happen for its own various reasons. This was a test, and it was a good ass test. I passed some of it and I didn't. But aside from these particular tests, I did pass and got my food handler's card, because I have to report to work tomorrow. Yes, you guys, I have a job, and I want to foreshadow some things with you all while I have you here. Anyway, get out a paper and pencil, because I want y'all to write down some shit. Now, what I want y'all to write down is the name of this meditation song. Now, recall on the episode where I said we park away from hoes, when I was talking about my car, Misty and I parking away from other vehicles. I told y'all that I drive around listening to a meditation song or ambient noise or ambient song, and it centers around serpents or the hisses of snakes. Anyway, I found it, and I want y'all to check it out. It is called Serpent Temple Adventure Ambience. 1 hour, the number sign, DND. And it's uploaded by Michael Heffley, GHELFI Studios. Michael Heffley Studios. Anyway, I checked out the rest of his particular website, and his music isn't bad at all, you guys. So I suggest checking out the rest of his music, and you may end up liking it. But I absolutely love this serpent meditation song, and I love the fact that all of the hisses are different pitches, different lengths, and they come in at different times. They overlap. I love it. So if you guys want your vehicle to be as stuck up and misanthropic as mine, then ride around with this particular meditation song extra loud and let other cars know that this car is dangerous and she will attack if y'all get a little bit too motherfucking close. Okay, now back to the job situation. My people of addiction, I am not sharing this particular link with you guys so y'all can abuse the simple fact that they don't drug test. But just because this company does not drug test does not mean the company that you're working for to possibly get hired in won't. Now, I'm in between two jobs, or I'm in between choosing, how can I say it? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Now, the job shadow that I went to last Sunday, everything went fine. I called to follow up on that, and the head supervisor of the kitchen told me that they didn't get any complaints about my performance, and they got good reviews. And this job pays $18.47 an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty good money. Pays every 2 weeks. They have other candidates that they have to choose from. So I'm still waiting for them to make a decision. My ex-coworker that I used to work with at the hotel foreshadowed a link with me and told me that they went through this particular company and ended up getting a job pretty much right away, doing something that they love. Obviously, because they put in their 2 weeks at the hotel so they can get the fuck up out of there. And I hit them up in regard to my situation, and they were prompt about getting back to me, which was the following day. Excuse me. Now, the company is based out of, I can't remember right now. They're not in Arizona. They're somewhere else. But they have ties to Arizona and probably different other states and towns or whatever as well. Anyway, I foreshadowed what I was looking for in regard to a job, and they also had some job listings on their website. It's none of y'all business at this point where I will be working at. Just know that it involves districts. And I will be in the kitchen area of this particular organization. And I'll be getting paid $16 an hour compared to the 18 something an hour. But I will be getting paid every week, which is a blessing, because most jobs don't pay every week. They're bi-weekly. So anyway, I start this particular job tomorrow. I could have started yesterday, but I wanted some time to give myself before I started, which I need to hurry up with this episode so that I can get home, make some type of lunch for tomorrow, and get some rest, because I have to be up extra early tomorrow, considering I start at 7 o'clock a.m. and get off at roughly 2 o'clock. Anyway, the people are very friendly, very nice. And as I'm going through the paperwork and everything, I did see a drug screening on there a few times. But there were some things that were lacking in regard to where I'm supposed to go, who I'm supposed to meet with, is there a timesheet, blah, 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 because the hiring process and all of that stuff is done via over the phone and the internet. And so a lot of things are electronically signed when it comes to this company. And that's fine. I got through all of that. I had a lot of documents to sign, including the W-9 or whatever that shit is, W-4 or whatever, direct deposit. I mean, I had some shit to fill in, but I got it done, considering the fact that one needs employment right away. And, I decided I'm going to go with it and just take this job for now. If the other job does call me, I'm probably going to have to turn it down, because considering the fact that by the time I do another interview with them and go through the hiring process, fill out their paperwork, etc., and start work, which could be this week or next week, I'm looking for a paycheck to come a little after October sometime, and I'm needing a check sometime soon. You know what I mean? So by this particular place paying every week, it's just more beneficial considering my circumstances. Anyway, I asked a couple of questions, including the fact that I didn't see anything about a drug screening. So when he told me, oh, we don't drug test, I'm like, damn, I could have been doing all type of motherfucking methamphetamine and shit. But I'm glad that I have not. I'm glad that I have not indulged with methamphetamine. Sorry, you guys. I was eating broccoli and shit. Oh, I had a salad before I left. So I had bits and pieces of that salad still left in my, bits and pieces of the broccoli and cauliflower still stuck in my mouth. But got it. But anyway, sorry, I was just throwing that piece of broccoli that I had in my mouth out the window. But anyway, I was shocked that they don't drug test. But that doesn't mean the corporation that I am working for to possibly get hired in, because this is temporary. This is a temp place. So it's temp to hire in. So I have 750 hours that I have to complete in order for them to consider hiring me into this particular corporation. And I'm going to complete those 750 motherfucking hours because I want to be hired in to this place so that I can receive their benefits and whatever else the case may be. Anyway, the link to the place, and again, I am not giving you guys this information so that y'all can continue doing drugs and possibly get a job through this company because y'all know that they don't drug test. Because, like I said, you know, just because they don't do it now doesn't mean that they won't implement that in the long run. Anyway, it is HTTPS, the 2 dots that look like eyeballs. Not the winking eyeballs, but just the regular eyeballs. Damn, I forgot what you call these things. The // precisionhr.net /. Okay, so HTTPS, the 2 dots that look like eyeballs, / precisionhr.net /. These people can help you get a job. And like I said, they don't drug test. But doesn't mean the place that you're working to get hired in won't. But I suggest giving these people a chance if you are a struggling addict and you're trying to get your shit together and you really do need some employment. Better yet, if you are just a regular individual out there that needs some employment to make ends meet, give these people a try. They had connections here in Arizona, and I left a message with that connect, and they called me back the next day, and they got me a job right then and there. And I appreciate this. And I said I was going to have a job before the end of this month, and I landed one. Now, will I be here for a while? I'm hoping so, because I don't want to transition and do all of that shit. I want longevity when it comes to a job. So hopefully I will be here for some time to come. But we'll see. $16 an hour, you guys, every week. So let me see here. I'm going through my notes. I told y'all about the 750 hours that I have to complete. Okay, I'm pretty much done here. But, yeah, I mean, the $18 and 40 something cent compared to the $16 and no cent, you know, it's a significant increase in regard to hourly wage. But the bigger question is, just because they pay more, does that mean I am going to be happy at that particular place of employment versus where I will be starting tomorrow? All in all, I will let you guys know how work went and go from there. I am so happy. I'm super happy. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Also, thank you for that crazy test that happened earlier with that dude. And yeah, so I'm going to end this episode, you guys, and I want you all to have a blessed morning, evening, and or night wherever you all may reside. I am going to go home, cook a little something, and get ready for bed so that I can get up and be prompt for tomorrow morning. All right. With that being said, I am D Venom, and I am out. Namaste. Y'all better not think less of me because I told y'all that damn story. 10-10. It is 10-10, you guys. As I was saying, y'all better not think less of me because I told y'all that damn story. But I told y'all plenty of stories, and trust me, my stories get more ratchet than what I told y'all as of tonight. Anyway, out.